Peace, y'all, and welcome back to Reels with Rakia. Yo, listen, before we get started, I would like to thank everybody for y'all's support. I really do appreciate it. I had a lot of messages recommending that I review this mini-series on Amazon Prime entitled Them, and I did. And here it is, y'all, all 10 episodes right here. Listen, keep the love coming. Keep it flowing, y'all. Don't be afraid to leave me a message, leave a comment, and be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Reels with Rakia. All right, so let's jump into it, y'all. Them. It is jam-packed full of suspense, voodoo, blackface, jigaboos, pickaninny, sorcery, and all types of fuckery. And I love it. And you're going to love it too. Listen, it is not for children, nor is this review. So before you get any deeper, make sure that you tuck your children away, get them out the way, do what you got to do. And before you come back, make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel before exiting stage left so we can talk about it, girl. Here it is. Them. Peace, y'all, and welcome back to Reels with Rakia. And guess what? You guessed it, I'm Rakia. So listen, before we get started, I would like to say thank you to everyone for your support. I really do appreciate it. I got a ton of messages from y'all asking me to review some material, and your wish is my command, darling. So today I will be reviewing one of those requests, and I'm glad y'all recommended it because I loved it. It's this mini series on Amazon Prime called Them. Be prepared. Before we get into the show, the review of Them, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Now that we have that out of the way. Okay, y'all, so Them. Somewhere up yonder, there's a candle, an incense burning, and some candles that I may need to start burning. I don't know what kind of spirits we about to conjure up in here. Between the blackface, the pickaninnies, the jigaboos, and the Negro blood that's not allowed in the subdivision. I don't know where to start, honey. I'm not saying that I'm scary. I'm just saying I ain't trying to find out. So I'm trying to hurry up and do this review before the sun go down so I don't have to run water and call my mama. Mama, Miss Easter. Shouts out to my mom, y'all. Better answer the phone because I don't want to be here alone. I'm home alone, so I need to talk to you on the phone. It rhyme. It rhyme. I'm home alone. I'm home alone. So Them. Them is a 10-episode miniseries based on this. Before we get started, did Them give y'all Jordan Peele feels? It gave me Jordan Peele feels. For those of you who've seen it, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who haven't, you would swear it's a Jordan Peele production, but it's actually not. I did a little research. He's not part of the production, the direction, nor the writing, darling. But they did a good job, you know. I guess imitation is the best form of flattery. They mastered that, honey. And speaking of Jordan Peele, kudos to Miss Shahadi Wright Joseph. I'm gonna leave a picture somewhere here so you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. In this series that I'm reviewing now, Them, she plays the eldest daughter, Ruby Lee. And in correlation to Jordan Peele feels, she also plays young Lupita. Her name was Zora. The young girl who got lost at the beach, that's her. And you can also find her doing the 2019 remake of The Lion King. She was young Nala. That's Beyonce's character, but when she was a kid, that voice is hers. So big things popping for Miss Shahadi. I like seeing you grow, and I like seeing you master your art, your skill, your craft. She's doing a wonderful job, y'all, and she played her role in Them. So let's jump right into episode 1 and 2. I'm going to combine those 2 episodes together so we can kind of expedite these 10 episodes that I'll be reviewing. So the backdrop about the family, the Emery family, who's a black family that migrated from the Deep South. They migrated from North Carolina to California. The Great Migration, y'all, took place in real life during 1916 through 1970, where a lot of black people migrated from the Deep South to places such as the East Coast, the Midwest, and the West Coast. They did this so that they can allegedly live a better life, have children go to better schools, live in better areas of the world, probably earn some fair wages, and possibly experience freedom, justice, and equality. But the Emery family in particular found out that they should have stayed their black ass at home down there in North Carolina, where they were loved, darling. So that's the Emery family. and how they ended up in Los Angeles, Compton, California, to be exact. So, episode 1 and 2. Episode 1, there's this scene where the mother / mom, her name is Lucky, by the way, and the daddy name is Henry. They have 2 children, 2 girls. The eldest is Ruby Lee, which we just talked about her. And the youngest one, her name in this show is Gracie. So the mama, y'all, Miss Lucky, they're closing, daddy's closing on the house in Compton in this subdivision, right? And there's some paperwork on the kitchen counter somewhere. And she reads that no Negro blood is allowed in the subdivision. And she was like, wait a minute. But ma'am, it says here, paragraph 3, line 57, that there's no Negro blood, no Negras allowed in this subdivision. I don't know if you see me, but I'm black. I'm black. Blackity black, blah, black, blah, black. And she's black, y'all. Oh, silly me. It's just something that, I forgot to change on the paperwork. We made a vote, we passed a law, and y'all niggers are more than welcome. I might be exaggerating that scene a little bit, a lot of it, but in short, that's what happened. And that's all that matters. So, they proceed to close on the house. They move in. Besides, they traveled a long way. And the funny part, y'all, speaking of Karens, I don't even think I mentioned anything about a Karen, but I did now. Her name is Betty in this show. Betty lives across the street from the Emery family. Betty is this white woman, darling, who don't really care for our kind. And it's crazy because in the beginning they knew that somebody was moving in the house. You'll hear somebody say, oh, I hope they have children. When they saw that big black man get out that car and that strong black woman, their jaws were on the floor. Their jaws were on the floor. They couldn't take it. They didn't know how to handle that, girl. So, or men, they didn't know how to handle that. And they do the most to make them very uncomfortable. They sit outside the house with this loud, obnoxious music, just sitting there staring at these people like they're fish in an aquarium. They have meetings trying to come up with other ways and techniques to make the Emery family feel really uncomfortable so that they'll move out of the house. I'll say between episodes 1 and 2, that dog Sergeant that I mentioned to y'all, spoiler alert, rest in peace, Sergeant. And also Gracie, the youngest girl, she sees dead people. Moving right along, y'all, to episode 3. So episode 3 opens up with the mother being very frustrated. There's this little white kid and he's urinating on her clothes. Well, her sheets that she has hanging up in the backyard on like this clothesline. And she's furious. What would you do? What would you do if you went outside and you had your freshly washed sheets hanging up on a clothesline and you see this little kid, never mind the color, peeing on your sheets? Then he had the audacity to pick up a stick, which I reference and recognizes as a switch, and tries to hit Miss Lucky. Miss Lucky took that damn stick and chased the dude like she was, I'm talking about she was getting it up that street. And she notices that the streets are watching. Like everybody at this point is outside like, oh my God, that nigger's crazy. She's chasing our little white boy. Now the mama, that little boy mama, she know her son bad as hell. She kind of low-key says that through it. But we discipline him all the time. She was but she was still easily influenced by her neighbors because in the end she folded. But anyway, neither here nor there. Lucky does see that people are watching her. And I'm going to pause the story real quick. This is what I hate. I'm glad that this generation is waking up. And we are not our ancestors, darling. We are not our ancestors. We don't care. But I hate how once upon a time, Black people just had to always bite the bullet. They always had to mind their mannerisms, no matter how they were being treated and handled, even in public and or private. You always had to be the biggest person. You were still expected to smile and be graceful and just take it and not show emotion, not show anger, not even show fear, just not be normal, not be natural in real life situations. So yeah, getting back to the story. So that happens with the mama. That's how the show kind of opens up on episode 3. So at this point, you know, she's had it to wit's end and she loves her family, but she just needs to be around something familiar and fresh just to kind of take her mind off of that dang old subdivision that's getting to the best of them. Because like I said, back in episode 2, her youngest daughter seeing dead people, the boogeyman, a man that had, or whoever he is down up yonder in the basement who comes up sometimes and terrorizes the hell out their child and allegedly might have killed their dog. It's a lot. So Miss Lucky feels like she's losing it. Her husband Henry has relatives who lives out in Watts, California. So Lucky takes a bus, City Line, I suppose, and goes out to Watts to visit her in-laws, her cousin Hazel, which is her husband's first cousin or something like that. And shouts out to Hazel, who is Paula Parker. You may know her from Friday, where she played the ghetto fabulous girlfriend Craig, or you may also know her from the movie Sprung or Hustle and Flow. I said that like I like the movie Hustle and Flow. Hustle and Flow. Paula did an amazing job in this, and I'll leave a picture up somewhere around here if I haven't already, if it's not up already. She did an amazing job in the show Them, y'all. She's one of my favorite characters. I'm gonna tell y'all who my favorite character is in a minute, and don't judge me. It's that damn blackface. I can't hold it. But anyway, I'll let y'all know when we get to that episode. Child, at one point, Henry is going to develop this damn imaginary friend, and he a whole blackface, except the blackface, but he has like the white circles on the eyes and the mouth instead of red. That's my favorite character. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Blackface, he turned Henry to a whole certified gangster. But you know what? I done skipped over so much stuff to tell y'all that. Just in the name of my favorite characters. But played by Paula Parker. She did an amazing job. I love her in this show. All right, so Lucky is down here to the party that her in-laws are throwing out in Watts, California, and it's a feel-good vibe. You could tell that she's like, y'all, I need a break from Compton, because I guess, look, I say Compton. If you like me, when I think of Compton, I think of what I see on TV. You know, I haven't been there. I haven't. And I suppose back in these days, it was predominantly white, just like most, I hate to say, just like hood areas. And once upon a time, if you do your research, a lot of times those were predominantly white areas, and you know, they moved out because we moved in, and there you have it. But Lucky had it up to here with Compton, and she was at Watts, and it was feeling good to her. She was having a good time, and somebody asked her where she lived, and she was like, "Oh, I live out in Compton." And she was like, "Ooh, the last black people," and the cousin Hazel. The cousin Hazel is like, shh. She kind of shuts up the lady who was telling her about the last black people who lived out there in that area. And we're going to double back to that later on in the story. That's going to become pertinent information. So Lucky gets triggered by something that happens in episode 5, y'all. It'll all make sense once you get to episode 5. I'm trying not to cry just thinking about episode 5, y'all. Ooh, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. But she's triggered by something that haunts her. Something very, very terrifying happened in Lucky's past, and she kind of loses it in episode 3, and she leaves and, you know, returns home. So that's the gist of episode 3. Moving right along into episode 4 opens up with the foolery. The foolery begins, y'all, in episode 4, for real. Because these white folks in the neighborhood, the members of the HOA, honey, they're doing all they can do to get the Emery family out of the subdivision. And it's not working. So Mr. Henry is on his way to take his daughters to school. He's getting ready for work to start their day. And when he opens up the front door, there are jigaboos and pickaninnies hanging from the porch. They're stuck in like stakes in the ground in their yard. And there's this jack-in-the-box on the porch, and pops out a black face. Y'all, At this point, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I can't say. I don't want to incriminate myself just in case, I don't know. I cannot say. But they got jigaboos and pickaninnies and black faces in them all over these people's yard. And the daddy has to go in and give them that prep talk. Hey, listen, I know you're going to see some things that's going to disturb you. Keep a straight face. Go straight to the car. Whoop-de-whoop, wop-de-wop. We just talked about how we had to act when we were being attacked. I hate that. So that happens. Also, Ruby Lee goes to school and she meets a friend. I think. We think. At this point, we're going to say she met a friend. That low-key turned her ass into a whole jigaboo herself because I'm chocolate and Ruby Lee is chocolate. Miss Shahadi, she's chocolate like me. I wear red lipstick, but it got to be the right shade of red. Let me say that. So this little white girl puts her on this red. I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I felt like she was turning her into a blackface. And I'm not using that term loosely, y'all. For those of you who saw the show, you get it. For those of you who don't, be prepared. That's just what it is. I ain't like that. So Ruby Lee meets a friend, allegedly. So far, they're getting along. Cool beans. And Miss Betty, she does the most. I wish her name would have been Karen. But Miss Betty does the most. She does the absolute most. I'll leave that at that. Y'all run down there and watch the show to see what I mean by the most. And Miss Gracie is still seeing dead people who now we know is the man in the hat. I want to say that this is the episode, I'm not really sure, that she takes her mom down to the basement. And she's like, the mama knows that Gracie's seeing or feeling like this entity, this spirit or whatever. And the mama can't see it, but I think she can feel it. And so the mama's in the basement. She's like, Gracie, what does it smell like? It stinks, mama. It really stinks. And you could tell, let me tell you something about Lucky. She can act. I don't know whatever she played on, but she can act. Like she did a great job with this. She sold me that she was smelling the funk of 1,000 years in that basement. And she knew exactly that it was in correlation or related to the boogie monster that her daughter sees that's picking on her. And also, we don't really know at this point if Lucky is just really overprotective of her family or if she's just really batshit crazy. If you ask me, I say she both. So that's episode 4. We're going to move right along into episode 5, all right? We're halfway there. All right, y'all. So before I get into episode 5, I almost forgot. I almost left out the fact that Betty went home to her dad's house, who's this rich man who had something to do with some oil once upon a time. And she asked her daddy for a loan. The loan is because she want to move out of that subdivision. She can't stand the fact that their sidewalk is not clean anymore. Something like that. Somebody said something about the sidewalks ain't clean no more. Anyway, she asked her daddy for a loan. I have a question for y'all. Those of you who have seen it, what was all that about? Like, she wasn't welcome. That's clear. And she was like traumatized. The daddy tried to make her take a bath, girl, make her spend the night. The mama was there though. So I don't know if she was abused physically or sexually once upon a time. But it really freaked me out, and clearly it freaked Miss Betty out too, because she got the hell up out of there. That's one time a white woman ran that should have ran on cue and didn't fall. So that's episode 4, y'all. That wraps up episode 4. And episode 5, I'm not going to say a whole lot about episode 5. Episode 5 is really sad. It explains the meltdown that Miss Lucky had in episode 3, I think, when she went to Miss Hazel's party, her in-laws party, when I said that she was triggered by something that haunts her. This goes into details about what that event was. Have your tissues ready. It's sad, y'all. All I got to do is say, all I can say, the cat in the bag, the cat in the bag, the cat in the bag. No, for those of you who don't, go watch and see and come back here and tell me how wrong I was. But I'm just reviewing the show. I didn't make it up. I'm quoting the film. Okay, so that's episode 5, y'all. We're almost there. We're really almost there this time. We're over the threshold of the halfway mark. Let's get into episode 6. I might not put y'all on pause for this one. Like, I've been cutting the video up because I got notes here. I can't remember all this stuff by heart. For the most part, I have, though, to be honest with you. Y'all. All right, y'all. So we're here. We've arrived at episode 6. And episode 6 was packed full of stuff, good stuff. Episode 6 was a really, I guess they did this on purpose because episode 5 was so sad. Episode 6 is like as much as a pick-me-upper as it can be, despite of the type of content that them is made of. So episode 6, y'all, Lucky, the mama, right? She's on a bus on her way home from Watts. I guess, is that where she just came from? I'm not sure, but she's on a bus. And she gets attacked by the boogeyman, that entity that she felt down there in the basement that her youngest daughter, Gracie, sees all the time that messes with her. Child, she gets attacked. Was she dreaming or no? I'm not sure. And then, was she on her way home? I don't know. But at some point, Lucky does go and visit Miss Hazel again to pull her teeth about, not literally, but to get information from her about what that young lady at the party was trying to tell her about the previous black family that lived in Compton. So finally, Hazel, she gives in and she gives her more information about this lady and her situation and how she's the only survivor. Y'all go check out them to see what I'm talking about. And unfortunately, the only survivor, she's now a resident of this mental institution, this mental asylum. So Lucky goes down to the mental asylum to go visit her and to get more information. And it's kind of relieved yet scared at the same time, because she's relieved because she knows that she's not crazy. They're experiencing similar things, and she's scared because they're experiencing similar things. It's one of those catch-22 type situations. All right, so that's that with Lucky and her situation. Betty goes down to the bank, y'all, to try to get a loan. No, she goes down to the bank to withdraw some money from their savings account. She's really hell-bent on getting up out of that neighborhood. Now, mind you, I told you that she ran when she went home to get that loan from her father. That didn't work out, so she never got the loan. She left. I would have left too, honey. And she makes her way to the bank just to find out that, she has suspicions of her husband cheating. I don't know if this has anything to do with the other, but she finds out through the banker that they're broke. Like, you might need to apply for food stamps type broke. Y'all ain't got no money. No money. And she low-key loses it. But, of course, she takes it out on the Emery family. So that happened. The daddy, y'all. Episode 6 introduces, I want to say episode, no. It could have been another episode, but I don't know. Y'all really get a taste of my favorite character, which is Mr. Blackface. I don't think he has a name in this show. I just call him Blackface because he's in blackface. Like, literally, he's in blackface. And he is funny as hell, y'all. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Listening to him again made Mr. Henry a certified OG. From this episode forward, his name is not Henry. His name is OG Genesis. His name is OG Henry. We're going to call Daddy OG Henry. And y'all will know why when you go and watch the show then, right? Awesome sauce. So that's episode 6. Return for episode 7. I'm sorry, y'all. I almost forgot. In episode 6, Miss Lucky slaps the shit out of Miss Betty Boo. Honey, I don't know what I done did to the thing. Let me readjust my camera. I done knocked it out of frame. But y'all, there's this scene. I'm tripping. I cannot believe I'm leaving all this out down to episode 6. So Gracie is at school. Let me back up and tell y'all how Miss Lucky ended up slapping the fudge sickle out of Miss Betty. So, the sun going down. I gotta hurry up, honey, because I don't know what we conjuring up. My incense finished burning. Okay, it's time for me to go grab the sage. That might get us by for a minute or two. Y'all, that ain't nothing. It might be hell, I don't know. That's from What's Love Got to Do with It. Shout out to Miss Tina Turner. All right. But neither here nor there, y'all. So Miss Gracie is the youngest daughter. She's the one that see dead people down there in the basement. And she's at school. Y'all heard that? She's at school. And she's doing really well, performing wonderfully. And the teacher asked for volunteers to do the Pledge of Allegiance on their own. They just said it as a class. Now she wants somebody to recite it by themselves. Of course, Miss Gracie raised her hand, and she gets called to the front of the classroom to do the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is facing a window. As she's saying her Pledge of Allegiance, she's looking out of the window, and she sees no other than, I keep calling him the Boogie Monster or the Boogeyman. In the movie, in the show, he's referenced as the man in the hat or the man in the black hat, one or the other. And she sees him, this really tall Amish guy, I guess, with a hat on. And she starts, this is the second time she done sung this song, y'all. I forgot which episode. She started singing this song the first time. I was tickled pink. Old Black Joe. Anyway, for those of you who know, you know. So anyway, she's saying the Pledge of Allegiance. She's doing a good job. So she sees the man in the hat, and he kind of, I don't know, possesses her. And she keeps saying, the cat in the bag, the cat in the bag, the cat in the bag. For those of you who know, no. So the cat in the bag references to episode 5, the sad episode that I really didn't get into because it's just something that there's no way to review episode 5 without giving away episode 5. Let me say that. So the mother is called down to the school because the teacher took that as Miss Gracie acting out. Lucky in so many words kind of gave the teacher a piece of her mind. And so they're walking home from school. I don't know which episode again that they put them damn pickaninnies, jigaboos, and black faces in these folks' yards. But Miss Betty got the audacity to be upset that they haven't cleaned up their yard yet. Which, is funny because when the episode came on, this episode 6 now I'm talking about. When the episode came on, I said, damn, they still got them jigaboos, pickaninnies, and black faces in their yard. This is kind of ironic though. But anyway, so Miss Betty is like, that's not neighborly like. You need to clean that up or something to that effect. And then Miss Lucky was like, I know. Being sarcastic, like, you're right. That isn't neighborly like in reference to the way that they're treating the family. And so when Miss Betty saw that, Lucky was, she just found out that she broke. When she saw that Miss Betty was unbothered, she pulled the only card she had. She called her not a nigger, but with the hard ER, okay? And Miss Lucky was like, okay, cool. With a straight face looking at her daughter, Miss Betty's behind her. She, baby, go in the house. She gave her daughter her purse, and she turns around, and I'm talking about she's strutting. I'm talking about you could just hear the rhythm in her walk. She's strutting. Strong backhand. She pulled back from her ancestors. And slapped the shit out of Miss Betty. Y'all, I lived. No! Miss Betty, y'all. I might be a little extra and over exaggerating, but that's what I saw when I seen it. You can't tell me that I didn't. So now that concludes episode 6. Episode 7. All right, y'all. So episode 7. This is the episode where Henry is a certified OG, not episode 6. Episode 6 is when they introduce Mr. Blackface, my favorite character. He is freaking hilarious. He's like the best friend you don't want your child to have. But in this episode, though, you will see why Henry is no longer Mr. Henry. He is Mr. OG Henry. Okay, Betty done messed around and became hostage, fooling around with the milkman. Also, man, listen, speaking of that, my favorite character, who is playing that blackface? I'm upset. I'm upset because he's doing too well. He acting too good. And speaking of acting too well, is it me or when there's movies that are made like this, don't it just seem like, I don't like when white people play their role too well. I guess that's what I'm just trying to say in a nutshell. The Mr. Blackface, I don't know if he's a black man underneath the blackface makeup or if he a whole white man. But either way, if he's a black man, I'm embarrassed. If he's a white man, I'm pissed off. Either way, I don't know how to feel. But I know y'all like, but you keep saying that he's your favorite because he's funny. It's such a heavy series to where the little piece of laughter that you do get out of it to kind of lighten the mood, you're going to get that from Mr. Blackface. All right, so there's that. Ruby Lee, y'all, the oldest daughter, she cannot find the beauty being a brown skin girl. She don't like it. She feel like it's not beautiful, and she does something, I'm not gonna say stupid, but she does something that is less favorable. Something I don't like, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people don't like, regardless of your skin complexion or your racial nationality. She does something that I'm, you know, it is what it is. She did it. I didn't like it. And in the end, I don't think that she liked it either. To kind of make herself feel beautiful, but she ended up embarrassing herself, which I was kind of happy that she got embarrassed because she learned a lesson. But I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about that. I ain't never been one of them chocolate girls. I ain't like being chocolate. I don't get it. I guess I get it, but I can't really. I'm looking at my notes right now, y'all. Do 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 do. We find out in this episode that Lucky done messed around and dug up the damn Holy Ghost. Stay tuned for episode 8. Okay, y'all. So episode 8. Lucky done messed around and dug up the Holy Ghost. Then she wakes up in this damn mental asylum because she dug up the damn Holy Ghost. The gag is she's in the same mental asylum. Remember a few episodes ago I said that she went to go visit the lady who used to live in that subdivision or somewhere in that area in Compton. And she was the only surviving member of her family. And Lucky had to go to a mental asylum to go visit her. Well, now Lucky's in that damn mental asylum. Not she's visiting her, but now she's a resident of that mental asylum. And that sucks, y'all. I mean, I keep saying that, you know, you don't know if Lucky is just overprotective of her family or if she's batshit crazy. All of the above, if you ask me. But, you know, she's a strong black woman and she gets it together. I think she loves her family so much that it will drive you crazy. I think that's fair. Also, the members of the HOA decides to break into OG Henry's house to get answers. Mind you, I told you that Betty done messed around and then got trapped in the Underground Railroad, became a hostage, y'all, fooling around with this milkman. She should have been paying more attention to her husband. That wouldn't happen. I guess. I don't know. You know, men do things. I guess. I don't know. Ain't my struggle. So they interrogate Mr. Henry, trying to find answers, you know, saying that they see him looking at this white woman. She's beautiful. We know that you got something to do with it. Either you or your crazy wife. Where is Miss Betty? The gag is, for real, everybody cares about Miss Betty but her husband. He low-key got the attitude of him. Shit, I don't know if I want her to be found. So he could do what he want to do. What is this? Child is synthetic, huh? All right, stick that over there. Okay, and I'm not cutting it out. Get into these bloopers. So yeah, so that happens. Lucky dug up the Holy Ghost. Now she in the crazy house, and Henry's being interrogated, getting fingers chopped off and stuff because he really doesn't know where Miss Betty is, and Miss Betty is being held captive somewhere. And that just kind of brings us right along into episode 9. Which really gives you the backstory of the man in the hat, the man in the black hat. It lets you know how he became the man in the black hat. That's his story. And it kind of ties the series together for me. I felt like episode 9 was necessary. Come to find out, episode 10 wasn't necessary. And speaking of episode 10, we have arrived to our final episode. Episode 10 was because from episode 1 to episode 8, it was so strong. And I'm not saying episode 9 because episode 9 isn't about the family. It's about the history of the boogeyman, the man in the hat. I need to stop saying that. The man in the hat. It's the history of him. So episode 1 through 8 was so strong. I'm talking about it kept you on the edge of your seat. it was very engaging. And then episode 10 just kind of, it was too much. I guess, you know, they had to tie up the loose ends and bring the show to an end. So much was happening so fast. It just took me too fast, all in my mind. But episode 10 was cool. You know, you have to keep up though. If you're binge watching like I was, don't watch episode 10 sleepy. I had to go back and watch episode 10 after I had took me a little piece of nap. But that's it, y'all. That concludes the miniseries that you can find on Amazon Prime. Y'all, I give it 4 stars out of 5. It is awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I did it before the sun went down, so I might be safe. I'm still about to go in here and burn this sage, my incense and my candles, and call my mama to make sure I'm okay. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I know that this video is super long, but I had to go over 10 episodes, y'all. And also, you did a wonderful job with your recommendations. I really love this recommendation. Please send me more. I'll do better with putting videos out more consistently. I will. Peace, y'all.